Thank you. Well, today is a special day, and I am Taina, also known as Aikya-Bani. I'm here with Bapu, and we have a special guest. Well, he's actually the person doing the recording, Patrick, and I don't know how to say his name yet. Shunyananda. All right, so today I'm just here to give a message. Hopefully I will be able to do some more videos, talk about a few different topics, and Bapu's going to be kind of cueing me in on some things so that I'm not kind of rambling on. And I hope somebody, one person at least, gets something out of it. So.
Surviving.
Well, I've been kind of left with no choice but to be a survivor. From the beginning, it was, all different trial and tribulations, and I could never have imagined being in the situation that I'm in now. When I was 24, I went through a pretty heavy-duty time, very traumatic experience. For those that really know me, I was incarcerated for 3 years. A lot of it had to do with choices that I made and decisions of not listening to my family, especially my grandfather, about toxic people in my life. So that led me down a road of wrong choices. But I must say that it was probably one of the best things that ever happened to me, because it really stopped me in my tracks and really helped me wake up and realize about the type of energy that I was surrounding myself with, or that was surrounding me rather. So it kind of opened up a whole bunch of health issues for me, which seems interesting. A lot of it has to do with my family on my father's side and their karma. And my grandfather always talks about river of blood, which I never really understood until I actually was experiencing it firsthand for myself. And it just can't be coincidence that everyone on that side seems to have a lot of the same issues that I have. It's, we all actually have the same disease, which is lupus, which for those of you that don't know, it's a systemic illness. People get it in all different kind of ways. It affects different areas of the body. There are different forms of lupus. What I'm experiencing for myself is a lot of bone problems. So I have had many surgeries, and so these kind of changes in my life I never really could have expected. I grew up really great. I got to be with my grandfather and grandmother, Kashanti, the first important, crucial years of my life. My mom was really young when she had me and was still growing up herself. So not that she didn't want to be there for me, but the best place for me to be was with Bapu and Kashanti. And I really got to have great experiences with them. And the spiritual knowledge and love and support of just growing up in a household that just is very different than what your average household might look like. That was average to me. And I, a lot of people don't understand, but we were just really blessed to always have Bapu. And even after I moved out and I would come back for my, summers and every vacation, I would always come up. They just really made my life really great. And I can't express that anymore. I'm really grateful to have them. And they were like parents to me. I never really had a father, so Bapu has been that to me. And I couldn't have asked for a better dad. So now I've pretty much had no choice but to just let the body do what it is doing. And I was a lifeguard. I was into gymnastics. I was in really great shape at a point in my life, and then just everything started falling apart. And I have to say that my last relationship that I had, the person that I actually got in trouble with legally, that's when things really started to fall apart for me medically. Now, Bapu's always told me about relationships and how people can be really toxic to you. So if I could let women know one thing, it's to really be careful of who you are dealing with. It doesn't seem to cross our minds when we're in that moment of lust and love and stuff like that. But it is really crucial, and some people are really poisonous to us, especially if we end up having children with them. It's not about the cutest guy if he has blue eyes and blonde hair and a nice body. A lot of times we have to really do research on these people and really check their family background, and not just, who's smart and who has, this and that. No, like really, really look into it and see what their river of blood, is what my grandfather calls it, is really about. And, even I know a lot of my friends, if they would have done that, they wouldn't be in the situations that they are with their children and going through problems, that their children's father had, which is now trickled down to their children. So now they're having to deal with it. It's very true, very real. And it might take longer to find that right someone, or maybe nobody. Sometimes we're best by ourselves, which seems crazy to, a lot of people, but it's safe. And I'm not just talking about safe because you're not having sex, which is a big part of it, but just safe in general. Only you can hurt yourself, pretty much, not anybody else. And not just in the physical form, but the spiritual and mental form as well. So so it's been a lot. It's been a lot for me. It's been a lot for my family. I'm really grateful that they have stuck by me through all of this, even with all my, crazy years of being a teenager and everything, all the changes I put everybody through. Family has been there for me and really, supported me through my different changes with my medical stuff. And, this is my 8th surgery now that I've had on my shoulder. And, well, not my 8th surgery on my shoulder, but my 8th surgery in general. 2nd surgery on this shoulder. Last time you guys saw me, I didn't have any bumps and bruises to show. But, so this has been a long road of, recovery for me. And I have had no choice but to either stay strong and be a survivor, or fall to my emotions and suffering, which is not useful for anybody. I was blessed to now have a child of my own, and I have to be strong for her. And Bapu always told me I would be the mother of the family, which when I was younger, I didn't really understand what that meant, but now I do, because now my mother and grandmother and everybody included is calling me to help them out, which is great, because unfortunately with my conditions, I'm not able to do what I would really love to do, which is be in school right now and working in the social work field. And right now I'm kind of stuck in my house. And yes, I do get to go out to appointments and things like that, but I'm not able to serve as I wanted to, but I'm serving in a different way, which this is one of the ways included. So I'm also able to serve my family. And I've had a lot more experiences than most people, just in general. I'm not even going to say at my age. So I'm glad that I can give back to those that might just need, someone else to give them some guidance, or, just advice, or just to be an open ear for, everyone to vent to. So I'm happy and grateful that I have the ability to still be able to at least do that. So.
How important is it for you to go beyond differences in the family, pull the people together in your way?
It's important, because everybody, and I think every family probably goes through this, but everybody doesn't always see eye to eye. But it's important for me to keep everybody somewhat close, because I am close to everyone. I'm close to Bapu, I'm close to my grandmother, I'm close to my mother, and all in different ways. And it's very difficult for me to deal with if there's any kind of tension throughout the family, because I need everybody to kind of be on the same wavelength, especially when it comes to being in the care of me or being there for me, during any kind of medical things. Everybody kind of needs to be on the same page and just able to somewhat get over their, political stuff, and just, it's all about love. And, if everyone loves each other, we don't all have to agree, but we can have a respect for one another. And, it helps to keep everything rolling as smoothly as possible. So, I'm very close to my brothers. They're, my best friends. We grew up together, especially my first two brothers after me. We got to grow up in the house together, and we are still close to this day. Super, super close. They're really helpful to me, and I'm really grateful for that. And we live in the same area again, which we didn't for a while, even though we still saw each other a lot, but not like it is now, where we can see each other every day. So I'm really grateful to have them, and they have really gone through their own trial and tribulation. So I'm glad that I can be helpful to them in their situations as well. And we make a nice team. So
What do you feel is important for you to have learned that you would encourage other people to learn about themselves or life?
Well, I have learned that you never really know what life is going to throw at you. So to really not have any expectations, because without expectations, then you don't have disappointment. So to kind of really just, be in as best of a place as you can be, and try to create a, life of peace and, love, and really just try to keep good people around you. And it doesn't mean, when I say good people, I don't mean people that haven't made mistakes in their life. I just mean people that have a positive energy around them, because I can't stress this enough. Letting toxic people into your life really can completely change your whole wavelength. I mean, and you can even look this up on Google. It literally, people's vibes and energy really can alter your whole being. So it's really, really important. And I know it sucks to be lonely, because I've been there. I've been in solitude before, not by choice either. But those were some of my best days of just being with myself, and nobody else was around to interrupt my peace or anything like that. So that's really, really important. And, for those of us who have family, because we don't all have family, just trying to keep a close net, because you never really know when you're going to need each other. And I think that it's important. Family is very important. At least for me it is. So that's something important that I'd like to share. And just, try to stay strong. No matter what life throws at you, you can get through it. And you gotta just believe that. So just know that somebody out there always has it worse. And I know that's a very big cliche, but it is the truth. And we don't understand that, because to us, what we're going through is the worst. But it is definitely, real. And we just have to be grateful for what we do have. And it's no use to get caught up in emotions, because that's just a program that we have. It's not real. So
what do you have to tell your friends about succumbing to anger, and what anger might do to you, or what it does for you?
Well, I don't really have too many friends anymore. But the ones that I do have, I would have to say, my anger has put me in a lot of, it has exacerbated some of my health issues. I gotta say, me being angry is what ruined my shoulder. So now I have to deal with that for the rest of my life, that I'm not going to be able to swim like I used to, which was like a champion swimmer. That's something that I have to deal with, which sucks because that was, my peace, my love. I loved swimming. And now because of my anger issues and I couldn't control it, now I'm having to, suck it up and deal with that. So we can actually really hurt ourselves or hurt other people. And, who wants to live a life of regret if we can help it? Sometimes we just need to sit back and reevaluate and think about the consequences and is it really worth it? And, now I have to try to find alone time. With having a child, it's hard, but you always have at least 10 to 20 minutes of time that you can get to yourself, and really just being with yourself and breathing. And we chant in this family, so that's what I like to do, and just really centering myself and getting to that quiet place, and that seems to really help me a lot, and just seeing things in a different perspective than I used to. So
What's changed in your life in terms of having a spiritual perspective? Is it something you had to believe in? Is it something that you came upon by seeing how things work? Is there anything you would recommend to other people?
I definitely saw how things worked because, for a long time I, thought that Bapu just didn't want, my grandfather Bapu just didn't want me to have boyfriends or things like that, because most fathers don't really approve of those kind of things. But I saw firsthand the results of these toxic relationships, and by being in a sexual relationship with certain people can really completely just change everything about you. And it's not just about somebody giving you a disease or an infection or anything like that. No, it's just completely messing with your whole body, and you just become a different person. I barely had any relations with my family during that time, and it wasn't until I actually got taken away that my eyes really opened up. And Bapu would come and see me all the time, at least once a month, and we would talk on the phone, and all I could do was cry because I felt like such an idiot for not listening, number one, and then also just getting away from the family, it wasn't completely on purpose. It was just more because I was like in darkness at that time. So I don't even think they could stand to really be around me. I know that my mother tells me stories of 6 years ago that she would cry because it wasn't even me. And I don't even know what that means because I don't even remember. It's like a complete blackout,
So you
phase.
learned that you actually take on the karma
Oh, yeah, of
the
others.
man, or others,
Yeah.
basically others, right?
Yeah.
That can happen through conversation, see, through association,
Yes.
see, and through thinking about them, see, because then you establish psychic resonance,
Right.
and that means you can draw from them what they are and what they're doing at the same time. See? So it's not scientific, this is psychic scientific,
Right.
understood and studied by the psychics who have to deal with this, because most people who are living their lives in confusion are not necessarily interested in sorting out the sources of confusion for themselves.
Yes.
See? And that's what we have to see, is that there are sources of confusion. Once properly dealt with, clear the path for the individual. You have to know, if you can know, what your sources of confusion are in terms of people or things that are happening that are taking you out in a certain way. So you found some peace, it seems,
Yes.
and this is very good for you. Not everyone, regardless of their karma, finds the kind of peace you seem to have found and can use and work from for the sake of other peeps, telling them, no, there is peace actually underneath all this turmoil and stuff. When you stop, you look and you listen, there is peace. See, it's always here, it's always present. Never went anywhere else. And people have to just stop, look, and listen to what it is and feel it, sense it, and know it for themselves and put it to good use, because in that moment of peace, as I'm speaking, see, and as I know it, see, there is healing. Peace then is equal to healing. Regardless of your conditions, you need peace, And peace also implies that you let the body heal itself without adding more neurosis to it,
Yeah.
and confusing it and complicating your situations with a mind that's out of control. See, a mind that is scattered, confused, divided, see, insecure, neurotic in general is a mind that is sick and needs help.
Yes.
See, knowing that from your own experience, you see how you are really having to heal yourself. See, and people need to know that that's what you can do. Calm
Yes.
yourself down, heal yourself, and start over again. Anything else you want to add to this for the people, for your friends or whoever?
Well, I think that pretty much sums that up. Grandma Ellen is, she's been like a mom to me. She's pretty out there sometimes, but I love her. She's definitely been my rock and my support, and I definitely am grateful to have her. And I've been a really good teacher to her. I don't think that I really noticed it as much when I was younger, but sometimes I just have to tell her to realize that she's giving me the same advice that she needs for herself, in terms of being anxious and things. And she does get very nervous about me. And that is because she is very close to me and she loves me a lot, and she is very close to my daughter. And so I'm glad that I can be helpful to her. And as a child, we never could even imagine that we would be the ones helping our mother or grandmother, these people that are elders in our life. So I'm able to do that. But she's definitely very receptive, so that makes it helpful too, because if somebody is just putting up a wall, then nobody's going to get anywhere. So she's been really great with that, and I'm glad that her and Bapu can be of somewhat, they're not best of friends, but they can, for the family's sake, have a what I call a what's needed relationship, just for the sake of the kids and stuff like that. So that's cool, because I need them to be on the same tune, especially for me. That's really important to me, that they're not on the outs. So.
And your present relationship with your mom, has that matured and taken a direction that you're really happy about now? It seems that.
I'm really happy about that. For a long time, I was blaming, my mom and stuff like that. And had to let that go, because that really wasn't useful to anybody. And I came to a realization that my mom is, one, a human. Even though she's my mother, she's still a human being, and she went through her own suffering and her own emotional neuroses and bad toxic relationships that made her into what she was. And we've really come a long way since I let go of all that negativity. And I realized what was really important to me was having a relationship with her, not all of the stuff, from the past that wasn't really useful. And now we really don't talk about it. Now we are building a relationship as me being a grown-up, and I don't get to see her as much as I would like to, but she's very busy, and I'm really proud of her. She's come a really long way. She's a nurse, and she's working on her master's program right now, and I give her the utmost respect and credit for being able to juggle all of these different things with kids and family and animals and everything else. She's still able to get up every day and go to work and support the household, and I really give her a lot of credit for that, because it's not easy. It's easier to give up, that's for sure.
So what you're saying in effect is that you've become friends.
Yes.
You have more or less outgrown the mother-daughter, so let's say, syndrome.
Right.
And now you're like dealing with each other as individuals, which is the most creative approach to this. Be friendly with relatives, see, and really think hard about whether or not you need to be less and thus subordinate, or superior. That's controlling and dominant. We need to be more on equal terms and again, tolerating the differences and letting people have the space to do what they feel they need to do. This is important.
Right.
Give everybody a chance to grow in their own time and space. And when you see there's a need, if we're talking about blood, then kindly, in a sense, respectfully interfere if you have to, but not get entangled in it to a degree where you make it worse.
Right.
And I think this is general advice to all good-natured people who want to make difficult times smoother and easier for everyone concerned. And what is your final comment in regards to this interview?
I think that when I let go of expectation for everybody, then I really avoided a lot of disappointment, and I just let it be.
So it's self-created. You see, disappointment as well as all kinds of other suffering, basically self-created.
Yes.
And thus it could be self-purified.
Right.
Released. Self-released.
Yes.
See, what a wonderful world we might have.
Yeah.
Right? If we took care of our own business.
Yeah.
Right? And
in school they called it stinking thinking.
Yeah.
So, we changed the way of that, and we can definitely find peace. So,
all right, thank you.
Duty calls.
Okay.
Hugh, thank you.
Hugh.
Hugh.